Welcome to Graeme Games. My name is Graeme. This is a game. Today I'm playing against Great Darkness. There's a photosensitivity warning. Want to have that right at the top. It is described as being a brick breaker bullet hell roguelike. From anything I've seen, it looks closer to like a shmup than a brick breaker, but you know, if that's what the dev is going to label it as, then let's go off that. We'll see how brick breakery it actually is. The mistress of animals, Artemis, she embodies the hunt as well as the protection of nature. Discs, hit points, cleanses. There's also Teich and Zealous. I'll leave those up for people if they want to see kind of what the difference is, but I'm just going to go in with Artemis if that's the default. Attack speed, dodge, luck, damage, boost, not just damage, fire bonus, explosion bonus, disc damage, crit chance. Just trying to get a sense of all the different types of stats you would have to upgrade and what have you. Oh, cool, and you can get a proper breakdown of precisely what all of those are. And the Sword of Wrath, a Norse sword used to kill a great dragon. On 2 juggles, release 2 direct projectiles that penetrate enemies, dealing 9 weapon damage. So maybe that's the brick breaker element, is that you have to keep things bouncing and keep them aloft. The infallible bow, a bow gifted by the god of self-discipline, armed with infallible arrows. A weapon which shoots heat-seeking arrows, which deal 5 damage. So it doesn't seem to be a choice. I think you have all of these. Maybe you would be able to swap them out once you unlock more things, but this seems to be how it starts. And Pillar of Salt, a reminder to never look back. Enemy deaths have a 30% chance to shoot out 2 rays of light, which deal 5 weapon damage to every enemy it passes through. Level 0, and you can start scaling things up, but at 0, increases difficulty with run modifiers. Every level increases radiant shard gain by 5%. And then at level 1, unfavorable events are now active. So it's going to start out in a much more forgiving state. I do have my headphones plugged in. It was just a quiet opening menu. The mortals cast you down here. You are mine, pagan. I'm undecided how I'm going to play. I think mouse and keyboard, but we'll see how that goes. Be not afraid. I'm here to aid you on your ascension. Every angelic entity is equipped with a disc. Throw it ahead and juggle it without losing it to the mob. If you do lose all, do not worry. Use A and D, move left and right, and juggle discs without losing one. So basically just get in the way of them? Okay, so, okay, well, I threw that one away pretty quickly. Not anywhere near as forgiving as a brick breaker paddle. Juggling and keeping a certain number of discs active is important. Many relics require those actions to trigger their powers. Now it is time to learn the cleanse. Take this shield. Learn 2 cleanse. Upon activation, it will erase enemy projectiles. It will also save your discs from the abyss below. Cleanses recharge between waves, as well as by juggling a fastball. Space to cleanse. Okay, and it does just wipe the screen. Excellent. You are worthy of redemption. I'm glad. To escape the depths of hell, you must fight its minions. I don't know if I actually need to be juggling that thing right now. Many will be summoned to block your way. Purge them to move forward. Gain motes and spend them at the store. So I just get out of the way of the black things and juggle up the white ones. I also have... we're already starting to see like those extra projectiles kicking in things for like successfully juggling and whatnot. So there is a little bit of a shmup quality to it in the sense that you can kind of put yourself in the way. Event or store? Let's do event. I guess 49 money is what I have right now. I guess I can also get a sense of how far I've progressed. Health, the recharges, and the relics. Wheel of Alteration. You stumble upon a demon dressed as a ringleader. It's time to spin. You're ready, aren't you? You sure are. Well, I guess I'll find out. I want the chest. That is my top choice. Probably not the demon. Oh no. The demon stares at you menacingly. He stabs you and disappears. Well, that kind of sucks. It seems like I was stuck having to do that, wasn't I? I'm cleansing those bullets. I don't want them there. I think you just dodge those. I don't think you can kill them the same way that you're like meant to be killing other creatures and things. I also don't know when I necessarily get orbs back. Do they recharge? Like, once I send them to the abyss, that's, you know, it seems like a bad thing. But I don't know precisely what the rules are. See, all right, as long as I don't go down to 0, maybe that's the whole deal. So yeah, I don't really know how or when they come back into play. I kind of knew I was about to ram straight into that. That's just telling me what I had. And 28. And a chest. Okay, lots happens even when you don't do that well. Angelic harp. Accompanies the choir of angels on fast ball juggle. Emit music that lifts discs in front of the paragon until a disc is lost. A bag of wind. A leather bag containing the winds of Aeolus. On cleanse, spawn an upward draft which pushes all discs upward for a limited time. Donor's belt. Or Donners, a belt that grants thunder power. Disc damage is increased by each disc hit by 1 until a disc is lost. Okay, there's a lot to wrap your head around, because it, in this game's favor, in the sense that it is so unlike other action roguelikes and things out there, there's a little bit more to get familiar with than maybe there otherwise normally would be. So these are all quite expensive. It appears, are they all, okay, 300, 500, yeah, I'm nowhere near affording any of that. I wouldn't have thought to be. And these are things that I'm unlocking separate from the upgrades. So not entirely sure how I unlocked anything or why. But let's just get back into it again. That was a pretty weak first attempt. The mortals cast you down here, you are mine, pagan. So that might be an opening bit of flavor text always. I just gotta pay a little bit more attention. I think trying to keep both balls afloat is not necessary. So as long as I'm really focusing on one and gather the second one when I can is probably the move. I'm trying to wrap my head around. Maybe successfully juggling regenerates your discs. Gain motes or an event. Just give me a bunch of motes. Why not? You found a medium cache. Take 45. Doubles what I had. That's sick. Not that I've really seen precisely what they'd be spent on, but I'll assume relics and upgrading stats. It seems like a pretty safe bet. Yeah, okay. I can totally get the brick breaker vibes out of this now. Oh god. So that must be the fastball. There's a lot of interactions that are specifically related to fastballs, and I thought it was a unique type of ball. I think it just has to do more with building up some form of momentum or enough ricochets that it builds up speed, or like hitting it at weird angles. Well, now I already have 100 motes. Let's do an event. Power overwhelming. Is that like the StarCraft Archon? Sick. A soul with radiant energy reaches out for you. Gain another disc or refuse her touch. Well, it seems like there's not... oh, damn it. Just not an incredibly huge risk of losing anything for having an extra disc. It seems like only beneficial, because now you have one more opportunity to keep your run afloat. That one was a tough one. I basically just had to run myself into the big fiery bullet thing. Let's just clear the screen now and again to keep things a little simpler. But that timing there, that's just really unlucky. Try to avoid that as much as I can. Oh good, I can afford everything. You can also re-roll or heal, but Boots of Hermes, Winged Boots of the Messenger, passive increase of 10% attack speed and 2 luck. Is attack speed the speed at which I'm firing these things off of my Artemis? Goddess Mirror, beauty of oneself to behold. Spawns an ever-present paddle which mirrors the Paragon's movement in the opposite direction. And the Book of Enoch, sacred text of apocalyptic proportions, passively gain 1 dodge, 1 luck, and 1% crit chance. Well, the mirror seems like for sure the way to go. That seems really, really strong. Good, there it is. There's my little fail-safe paddle at the bottom there. I'm not going to even try to use it, I don't think. Like, I just am hopeful that it will bail me out in times of great need. But I think if I actually try and wrap my head around it... Oh no. What have I done? Yeah, I lost all my balls. If I actually try and factor it in and use it, I'm just gonna cause problems for myself. So instead, my focus remains on just primary juggles as often as I can. Let's gain motes again. A heal was 50, so I wouldn't even be able to do that. So let's worry about this instead. My bullet hell skills are apparently not quite where they need to be for this game. I'm taking some pretty serious damage. I do like when the discs collide with each other and how that kind of opens the board up and gets some fun little interactions going. That disc spawned from me right at a time where it kind of messed me up, honestly. But that's... I can only blame the game like 5%. 95% is my own blame. I'm sure everyone can tell based on watching this play out. Heal. Just take a raw heal. Replace what you've lost. Heal to full. Good. That's what I was mostly hoping, is that it would heal 2 instead of having to pay 50 to probably just heal 1. The way I assumed it was going to work there. Cool. We're getting different enemy types. There's kind of like this charger guy there now. Oh, whoa. I can't believe I missed that. Having such a skinny little air quote paddle to juggle this stuff is a little bit tricky. I'm getting a little bit of a feel for it. I really am frequently doing that though, where I kind of bump it and end up firing it straight downward faster than it was already moving. I'm trying to move the mouse out of the way. Every time I touch the mouse, that's what's happening. That's popping back up like that. We'll try the shrine. Let's see what the shrine's about. Let me get rid of the mouse. Let me try to not use the mouse. A shrine with the statue of a disc, a heart, and a shield stands. Offer 75 motes. Oh, it's 75 no matter what for Clanes, HP, or disc. I already got enough discs. I need to survive better. So let's get the max HP juiced up a little bit. I think I got a decent little rhythm going here. It's certainly faring better than my first attempt. I needed to shake off that failure early on, and then we could try and build it up from there. I'm not making good use of my constant auto firing. Like, I'm kind of just trusting that it will collide with things now and again. Very Space Invaders, actually. Well, I don't know. The fact that we're moving, they're moving, and Space Invaders might not be the best comparison, but I think you can see what I mean a little bit by that. Let's do gain motes of light again. Oh, it was a worse payout that time around. That could just be raw luck. Sometimes you just get a little more than others. I think I took damage on that one. I gotta be mindful. I assume you die when, well, maybe you don't die when all 3 balls are out of commission. You're just like slightly less offensive when that happens. Hearts might be the only way you die. But it seems like balls getting sent to the abyss, the void, I think it was abyss that they called it, seems bad. So I would like to avoid that. The discs colliding with each other is scrambling me up a few times there. That was a little bit of a dangerous one. There's a cool like bulge to the edges of the screen. Like, it's a little narrower in the middle, and it has a cool effect to it. And all the parallax in the background, all the cool art back there and everything looks really cool. The sad succubus. A female demon kneels crying before you. In life I had nowhere to turn to feed my family. Is this the eternity I deserve? I have no need for this heart of mine. I'll take your heart, sure. That healed me for 1, and I gained 1. That was precisely how I hoped that would play out. That's fantastic. Good for me. I'm trying to get better at the last minute bump to keep the ball alive, the disc coming at it from like the side a little bit. I'm trying, but I'm missing them frequently. You can just get real bad luck with them kind of stacking. Ooh, that was that little lag there. Didn't really mess me up. It came back pretty quickly. Damn. Okay, so that was 3 orbs lost, and they do just come back, and it doesn't seem to like come at a cost of my health to bring the balls back at that point. So I'm not entirely sure what, if anything, is a consequence of accidentally shooting those discs down like that. Maybe it would be too punishing because of how easy it is to do accidentally and how hard that can seemingly mess you up. So I've made it to the end bit here. So now I got my first proper boss battle. It'd be a little bit more of a bullet hell focus maybe in this section. I'm greatly enjoying the weird... Oh, I think my backup paddle bailed me out there. I'm enjoying the weird babies that are floating around this thing. I don't know if that's... It's a weird way to think of them, but that's absolutely what they remind me of. Just weird little demon... Not even toddlers, straight up babies. Squirming around. Goo, goo. Oh no. Okay, my missiles do not affect the discs. I was not entirely certain about that. I was trying to think of what a demonic baby would say. Goo goo, die, die, or something, but I couldn't come up with anything clever. That's lame. It's a rough first pass. I got no time to think of anything better. I think, yeah, it just clears the projectiles, not the enemies. Shit. Well, I would have been much better off using it then. Oh god, they're really swarming me. I think I gotta let the ball take the fall on that one. Okay, we got the health down decently here. I think this could happen. I'm sitting at 3 health. The fact that they just straight up swarm you like that now and again is risky. A little terrifying. Maybe I should try and kill the babies a little bit better. That was it for my cleanses. I know that they were like, they recharge between waves. I wasn't sure what we were considering a wave during this boss battle. That's too much. Oh god, it's sending so many things at me. Crap. Well, yeah, that makes sense. Not gonna be enough to be able to buy anything still, I don't think. I don't know what I'm doing to earn these unlocks. I wish it told me. Thurible, a container for burning righteous essence. On cleanse, apply fire to 3 random enemies, dealing 2 fire damage every second for 10 seconds. King's Shammer, used to build the first temple, cutting stone, iron, and diamond. On fastball hit, cause an explosion that does 5 damage. A once cursed shirt that ensured faithfulness. On taking damage, ignite all enemies on fire. A lot of those, it's one thing I'm seeing in this game right away here is a lot of the relics are tied to these interactions of hitting the ball and hitting a fastball and these different things like that. Not a lot is just like raise your stats, make your attack speed more, make your dodge better. It just doesn't seem to be coming up very often. And so the game does seem to require some raw skill that you can't just overcome with upgrades. So you start with 3 discs. You start with 1 disc. What sort of stuff? Let's look at Teich. A good fortunate spirit which believes that destiny resides in luck and chance above all else. Gemstone, a philosopher's stone turning everything to gold. On 4 juggles, release 2 barrages of homing projectiles, which deal 4 weapon damage per hit. Surya's chakra, the solar deity's pure energy. On juggle, 20% chance to drop a chakra. When collected, causes an explosion at a random enemy, which deals 15 explosion damage. An Ansel shield, the true sacred shield of the 12. On juggle, provide a 30% chance to spawn a shield guard. So that's another thing, I guess, that I was kind of had in mind. On 4 juggles, on juggle, and on juggle. So there's, most of the relics are just keep juggling, and it's like that kind of is the game anyways. But I guess that is a little bit of, adds a bit of clarity to how I was thinking through the game. The juggling is about getting yourself those bonuses, rather than, being required to like survive or whatever. You're not actually, oh, so that must be the chakra that just dropped. So it's less about keeping them alive and punishing you for dropping them, and it's more about rewarding you for keeping them bounced up. The shield that generates is sick. Hey, really fast fastball bounce. I got an achievement for that one. We'll do an event first. I gain another disc. 4 discs seems a little high. I took some pretty damage for one of those little worms that floating down towards the screen there earlier, and I'm trying to avoid making that same mistake. Then I just ran straight into a projectile. Anyways, there's a lot to avoid in this game. It's interesting because it's bullet hell. I think bullet hell is still like a really good, strong summation of how that genre blend is going on. But the blend of the enemies, the projectiles, that like as soon as I do it too, that it's just brutally obviously my fault. I don't know what that screen is all about. Unclear what it's trying to teach me or show me there, like the one draining, filling, whatever's going on there. I might as well just jump right into doing one with this character again. Look at all the little details, little devilkins jumping around in the background there and things. Like, all that stuff is really fun. I think the game stylistically is really cool. It is just beating up on me in the sense that my bullet hell abilities are a little lacking. I thought they were better than this, honestly. I thought I would jump into this with a little bit greater confidence. It's been iffy. Maybe I just gotta get used to it. Brush up those skills a little bit. Getting bailed out left and right by that bottom tier thing. Do I take my money with me from the last run? It kind of seems like I might. A demon deal. Have I got a deal for you? A mystery prize for just 50 motes. Let's do it. Angelic harp accompanies the choir of angels on fastball juggle, emit music that lifts discs in front of the paragon until a disc is lost. There's a certain degree of comprehension there that I'm coming up shy on. Do not understand entirely what that one means. I keep going after the chakras thinking that they are the orbs. They're still like beneficial. Oh my god. Maybe there's something with the control that I'm not accustomed to. Like that I would prefer the paddle slide a little more rather than dead stop. No, it feels good. I think it feels good at least. So there was like that lifting energy, I guess, until I drop a ball, right? That was the idea? This seems... Oh, okay. then they split on opposite ends of the screen and there wasn't much of anything I could do. But in general, that seems pretty cool. A dog named Baron. Hey, it's a direct reference to Heartbound. The dog barks. Are you a Viking? I've always wanted to meet a Viking. Here, take this. And that might be a reference to the fact that the developer of that is called Thor. So I think that's what's going on there. Pet the dog. Bone of Ymir. The dog wags its tail and barks. I knew you were a Viking. A bone as hard as stone on disc spawn. 40% chance to gain 100% dodge for 2 seconds. Dodging seems like it would help me because I do end up taking quite a lot of damage from just grazing projectiles. Or maybe like the minimum distance you move is less than I expect it to be or something. I'm shocking myself with how much like something will be 1 millimeter away from me and I'll go to grab it and I manage to overshoot it so easily. Like it's happened numerous times at this point. So that could just be getting acquainted with the controls a little bit. There again, there's something with the controls where it's not gelling with me very well, and I'm consistently missing my projectiles and bumping into things that I'm not intending to by like narrow margins. And I'm going to assume that's just a familiarity thing, getting used to the game. Because the controls feel fine. So it's got to be a me issue in that case. Not a ton of motes again. I don't know what word I would have used instead. A mote? A mote of light? Is this kind of a strange one? Maybe it's just unique though. See there! How did I manage to miss that even? I felt very confident about sliding my way over to it and then just blew right past it. That was less of what was going on there. Oh, so many balls. So much to keep track of. At least the contrast, you know, having just straight black and white is works really well just for keeping the visuals of the game straight and having a sense of where things are. There I overshot it again. Weird. I didn't mean to use that. Curious if it's a me thing for other people who have played the game. Trinkets and baubles, a pile of curios, so is that like a Darkest Dungeon thing, lays before you in the rubble. They each look intriguing, but only one catches your eye. Take the... Oh, I get to see what they are. Prayer beads, simple prayer bead, 11% chance per juggle to spawn a new disc. And demon blood swirls on 4 juggles gain 300% attack speed for 2 seconds. I don't think I need to be speeding anything up. I don't think that would be great for me based on current history, how these runs have panned out so far. I would really love to make it to the boss again. If I could heal or gain health, both ideally, I think I'd be in a much better position to do so. Right now, I'm not feeling too good about that prospect. I'm exerting greater caution now than I have at any other point. See, there, I did it again. Just that time generating a ball directly in front of you as another one is coming, and then you knock into it and you end up missing both of them. That's happened several times now. Specifically with the spawning. See, there's no count happening anywhere on the individual ball, because I assumed the rules of juggle 4 times. I assume that's tied to the individual ball, not your collection of balls. I'm not so certain. Yeah, take the full heal. But that would be helpful, I guess, if I could see that on screen. But I don't need it, because it would just be a lot of information to try and represent on screen at once, I think. So I can understand why it's not in there. I'm generating the explosive chakras really often. It makes me kind of want to double check how they are spawned, because it's a little surprising to me how much I'm getting away with that. The Artemis was easier, because Artemis is way more often generating those missile projectiles. And so that goes like a really long way, that you have that extra damage potential. I'm realizing here in this one what a difference it makes when you are solely in charge of the damage. Narrow little projectile. How dare it. I guess I'd be curious too, per area of this game, like this purple pinkish area, will it always be the same boss? This game is also early access. I don't think I said that at the beginning. Let's... Oh, it's expensive. Last time... Yeah, once again, I am just going to go for it. I was just thinking, like, last time I didn't remember making note. Maybe I just had more money when that came up. These little skulls floating around, that damage was on me. I don't even... It felt a weird floatiness, like I didn't end up quite where I intended, but I sure as shit didn't try and dodge after the fact. Yeah, but there's these tiny little skulls I assume do as much damage as anything else. Yeah, and you have no vertical movement. It's all this lateral moving around and things, so it gets a little scary when you just kind of end up in sync with the plane that those creatures are on. But the less pressure I'm putting on juggling, we'll just let those happen when they come up. That's seemingly faring a little better. This is... I really had some useful upgrades in my last Artemis run there, didn't I? Because, like, holy, this is a lot of enemies at very tight in a way that I don't recall happening the last time around. Trying to get those fast juggles going. Eeh. Dang. even though dropping the balls does not have a huge consequence to it, it still feels bad. I want to do better than that. Ah! Yeah, see, those scenarios where you end up just kind of cornered with a projectile coming your way, and you just gotta hope that you left yourself enough space. It's tight like that a few times. I guess I'll play. Oh, it's different this time. It's slot machines instead. So I'm guessing there's... the chest is after the heart always. So as soon as I see the heart, it is the I heart chest. Okay, so... Wait, reset my eyes a little bit, because that's a lot to look at. I heart chest. Damn it! Well, let's just do that again. And one more time. Whatever. The next two I didn't try so hard on. Better luck next time. That's really tough. That's right at a speed where it was kind of hard to make happen how you want it to. I'm sure you could get accustomed to that. The no whammy mode. I hope people understand that reference. But yeah, I wasn't even close. My timing was no good. I probably have the sound turned down a little bit. I'll make sure it's balanced for the eventual video. But I wish I could hear the music a little better, and I don't really have time to do anything about it currently. Yeah, I got right trapped up in there. That was great. Yeah, this is fully Brick Breaker. Fully in the sense that that's obviously like the primary influence, but it is really strongly distinct. Like there's some really interesting stuff in what is generally like kind of a simplistic, minimalist game. There's a lot of mechanics interacting and things going on here. There, okay, I must be real. If not this one, the next one for the boss. Event again. The banker, a greedy demon goblin, sits before you counting coins. He holds out his hand, care to invest. I don't want to give away everything. An old money box, double earned motes of light until you spend any. So I would give up everything for that? Let's try it. So I should earn a shitload of motes, but now I'm down to nothing. And I am not certain if I'll live long enough to really get the most out of that. And I have to kind of avoid spending motes for a while to really get the most out of it. So we'll see. Maybe I'll come to regret dumping 100 gold all in one place. All for nothing, seemingly. Because what if that would have been a much better event if I only had like 20 motes on me. It seems like 100 was quite a high price to pay for a stupid little piggy bank. I may come to regret that. I may not be known as the best investor out here in the great darkness. I'm not the best at quite a few things in the darkness, he says as he misses everything. See, this is where having a character that can just shoot is best. Like, I can't even try for those. I'll just die. And I keep generating them. There we go. Finally. I kept going to juggle them, but because I was generating new ones, I kept just kicking them out of the way. When all I really wanted was to just have a straight line at the single remaining enemy so I could generate a disc and chuck it at it. It really went poorly. Got there eventually, though. I wonder what the max count of, like, discs is, because even just doing these 3 reliably is not good. I do like having the chakras now and again for the sake of blowing up straggler enemies, but when there's these black and yellow orbs floating around, it can get tricky to try and get in there when things are tight. let's take the heal, because the next thing is the boss. And I've seen firsthand how much this gets out of hand once all those little babies are in place and start attacking you and things. Those, the explosive chakras are definitely going to be useful. There's, maybe I just need, like, an inch of forward and backward movement or something. I guess that's not really brick breakery, but man, do I ever consistently get stuck taking dumb damage. Probably more of a me issue. Oh, are those not all hands and arms floating behind this boss thing? They look like other weird little shrunken heads. I may have just kind of been misinterpreting what I was looking at for the boss. Or the body of the boss there. It's cool. It's an interesting design. I like the black and color simplicity, like the two-tone, two-color art style overall. It's got a nice effect to it. Oh, come on. Surely we can do it. I know that as we get deeper into this, he'll probably start being more aggressive. It kind of felt like that's what happened last time, but we can do it. Maybe there was a Heartbound reference, because combat in that game, even though it's a very like JRPG, indie, Undertale-y sort of inspired thing, the combats in that game are very narrow like this. There's a lot of variety to them, so they don't always like play out the same. I don't really know how to dodge that, other than kill everything before it runs at you. But they play out in these really narrow perspectives like this, and I kind of assume that's why that reference felt like a good fit. It could also just be Thor's like a developer buddy. I don't really know how to survive those. Oh, actually, did I grab something that was like when you use the cleanses, you get dodgy? Maybe this is why I ended up dodging. You get the shield. That's the chakras. And the barrages. Yeah, none of those. I don't know what happened there, but I seemingly dodged some direct damage. A memento to prove one's faith on fastball juggle spawn an active discard. Is that like the thing at the bottom? A fang, a lump of flesh that constantly regenerates, heal 1 hit point at the end of a wave. And Wheel of Chronos, the timepiece from the god of the zodiac, reduce the required speed for discs to be triggered as fastballs. I like the healing me often option. I'm gonna go with that. Oh, cool. This just looks really, really neat. Oh, okay, there we go. Not tempted by lust, I see. No matter, the pox will get you. It seemed like almost no matter what button I hit there, it was gonna jump to this. Now am I guess it can't be an orange colored projectile anymore, because now it's an orange background. So I don't know if colored projectiles, if the color is indicative of anything. I think probably not. It's just the high contrast of orange and purple. Really, there we go. Really banking on these explosions to clear up the map as much as possible for me there. I really like the enemy designs. It's a cool thing to keep them so simplistic. But I'm just trying so hard to stay alive. I'm barely processing which is which and which has more health and in which ways they're different, or which ones have attacks and things. Kind of picking it up, but like there's a lot else I'm looking at on screen. Let's do store this time. I got 100. It's too expensive. One of them is. Eye for an eye on damage received, gain a boost. That's fine. Thread of firmament, a spool of thread weaved with angelic fibers, passive increase of 5 luck. I don't know what luck does. I guess it does tell me in the main menu. I can't check that here. I don't know what that is. The votive candle, the offering of flames for each enemy that is on fire, gain a damage boost. I don't think that comes up very often for me. Let's just add more luck then. It was a pretty cheap one, and more of any stat is probably a good thing, so I'm just going to go with that one. Little skulls, little projectiles, so many little things to thread between. Damn it. I hate these little skulls. When there's like really that many of them like that, it ends up creating a pretty large chunk of the screen that is like occupied, and you gotta kind of wade out. It's come together, but yeah, they're giving me a bit of grief. It also means these waves are taking a lot longer. The wavelength is super inconsistent based on some of those compositions. I was just trying to get the chakra thing. All right, I got a thread between there, and I'm glad that worked out. Okay. My ability to commentate on anything is dwindling as the amount of stuff on screen trying to kill me is the opposite of dwindles. Oh, I think I barely slipped in there to trigger that. That was cool. God, it's a lot of things to try and kill in a very short period of time. Oh my god, they don't even count towards the wave properly. The next wave triggered while the little skulls were all still alive. That's very unforgiving. Those enemies are tough as can be. That time I managed to squeeze through better than I normally would. Oh, nice. The ball really got trapped there for a second. Going for the explosive chakras. Okay, that was going notably better. That had gone a lot better than previous attempts there. As much as 500? Not quite. Oh, I didn't actually get to see how much I earned from the double moat earning thing. Prayer beads. Simple prayer beads, 16% chance per juggle to spawn a new disc. I feel like I could have bought that in the store. Am I unlocking things? These are things I've encountered in the store and or such, and now it just tells me about it. Oh, but I did unlock a character too. Probably for beating that first boss. Elios. The personified spirit of mercy, pity, and compassion. She is truly the most needed for mortals. And the piggy bank. And the Roastum helm. A helm made from a demon skull, passive increase of 8% attack speed and 1 luck. Oh, that must just be loading then. It's weird that it starts at 100 though. It kind of confuses things a little. Ability to lock items in shop. These all cost more. This one's 300. Increase the damage bonus by 3%. That for like every character. Increase the disc damage by 1. Gather more radiant shards in every run by 5%. Decrease gravity of discs. Increase fire damage for each tick. Decrease time between launching discs by 10%. Increase luck. Okay, so quite a few of these are only 300. Well, let's just increase disc damage. Next one would cost 600, but that still remains 300. It didn't raise the cost of the other ones. Yeah, that was not the best showing, but at least that last attempt went a little better. Against Great Darkness, available to purchase in early access over on Steam right now. I'll have a link down below if you want to go check it out for yourself. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again soon.